Hey guys, Dr. Ben here, F8 Well Centers. Excited to talk to you today about stress and what it does to our aging. We think about this all the time with just stress of, oh my gosh, don't stress. Stress is bad. Stress, it just doesn't make us feel good. Maybe it causes our blood pressure to go up, some things like that. But there's actually physiological and genetic things that are changing when we have this chronic stress in our body. So I'm going to go in detail into what is actually changing in the body and then give you action steps today to start getting that stress down. Because here's the deal, and I talk to patients about this all the time, is that we are all going to have jobs and cars and kids and COVID and presidents and Ukraine and whatever you want to stress about. We are going to have stressors. You might have a chronic stressor, living in a stressful environment at home with a relationship or challenges with kids. Your kid has autism or something like that, where it's this stressful time. Hey Doris, good to see you there out in Nebraska. And then it may be a one-time thing. It may be, oh my gosh, I had this traumatic event, major car accident, something like that. But either way, those stressful events are going to cause more aging if you don't take care of them like you need to and deal with that. So that's what I'm going to show you. So pop down below where you guys are watching from. Let me know what you're dealing with as far as stress goes. Let me know how your stress levels are and what you do. Give us some of your tips, because here's the deal. We've got a great community on here. We've got tens of thousands of people all over the world that watch these videos. And so if you have something, if you have a great tip, something that you did, Becca, my office manager, she just showed me her new sleep app that she got for her Apple Watch, and it's great. She's able to see, tells her all this information, and it's something that she can take action on. Hey Mac in South Africa, great to see you. All right, so here we go. Let's get into it, because stress is something that it's kind of this ambiguous thing that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm stressed. I'm stressed about money. I'm stressed about a job. I'm stressed about my kids, whatever it is. But stress is a real thing. We can think that we're going to have some type of thing. And most of our stressors are not like real, someone's whipping us with a stick or something like that. Most of them are our mind anticipating. So we are either thinking about the future, we're stressing about the future, or we are thinking about the past and we're stressing and worrying about either of those. Hey Melissa, good to see you. New diagnosis. Send us a message. We can talk to you about that and give you some ideas on what you can do for that. Hey, Miriam in Germany and Irene in Norway. Great to see you. Bergen, Norway. Yeah, over here in the States, Irene, we've got the nice clothing line, the Bergen line. And Kimberly, pray. We're going to get to it. Prayer is definitely one of those things that is very helpful. So here's what happens physiologically. And again, pop down below with what you guys do. Just like we had Kimberly that is doing a lot of prayer. There are things that we can do, because really it's not so much the physical action of stress, it's what our brain is doing. So we're going to go through that. Carol, having some post-COVID tiredness, that can be very, very stressful, because you're not able to accomplish what you want on a daily basis. You're not able to do what you need to do. So here's what happens. In our body, we have these things called telomeres, and they are part of our genetic DNA, part of our code. And these telomeres, they either can get longer or they can get shorter. When they get longer, we actually will live longer and we don't age as quickly. But when they start to shorten, we age faster. And there's a whole great book where this researcher went through 9 different things that were causing people to age faster. They did all this research on what made the telomeres shorten more, and stress was one of those biggest ones. But not just stress. One of the biggest ones they found was that worrying about your significance in the world, what you're supposed to be doing, your mission, your goal, whatever it is, that was actually one of the top 9 things. So stress is going to shorten our telomeres. Stress of any kind, but especially stressing about what you should be doing, need to be doing. Stacy, worship music and prayer. Yep, get that music cranking and know that it's bigger than us. Kay in Louisiana and Jenny, go out for a walk. Irene, you do yin yoga, meditation for stress relief. We're going to talk about some of those things as well here in a second, Irene. So one of the first things that happens when we start stressing is our telomeres start to shorten, and we're not able to replace those very easily and lengthen them out. There's very specific things that you can do for that, but it's way better to not shorten them in the first place than to try to lengthen them out later. This is also going to be when we're looking at what causes us to age faster. Inflammation is going to be another part of this process that is going to speed up our aging. And so inflammation can come from a lot of different things, but we know inflammation when we talk about blood sugar, when we talk about the gut, when we talk about the liver detoxification, all these different things. There's a term it's actually called inflammaging, and it's like inflammation and aging put together. That one never rolls off my tongue very well. Inflammaging, and so that is going to be speeding up. If you've got excess inflammation in your body, if your C-reactive protein is high, if your homocysteine is high, if these markers are high, if you're puffy, most patients when they come in and I squeeze their arm and I squeeze their body, and like, you are just thick and puffy and holding fluid, that is inflammation, and you are going to age faster if you're inflamed. And so some of the things that it can cause arterial sclerosis, it can cause plaquing, the diabetes, it can increase your potential for high blood pressure, all these things when we have inflammation. That stress that we're under, that psychological stress, is going to increase what is called our oxidative stress. And this is what's going to cause damage to the tissue. So this oxidative stress, it's kind of those free radical ideas, and that's where antioxidants come into play. But again, it's way better to not stress. Mary, I'm journaling, listening to health podcasts, decrease my stress significantly. Yes, journaling, great one. Every morning I'm on the treadmill, journal, 2, 3, 4 pages. So it is huge. And another really important thing is, especially, all of you guys have heard about cytokine storm, because that was really brought up a bunch during the COVID time, and that's what led people into their lungs going haywire and all these things. Was we would get into this cytokine storm, and what the research shows is that consistent or major psychological stress will cause this cytokine storm and will cause this major inflammatory process, and ultimately more aging. So the cytokine storm is causing aging as well. So inflammation markers have been low, got my telomeres checked, and they were shorter. So Sam, here's the thing. You go read the book on telomeres. There's 9 things. Inflammation is one of them, but it's not the be all and end all. So you may be having some other things going on. Your psychological, emotional stress may be more than it should be. There's a lot of other things that can cause those telomeres to shorten. That's a whole nother video on. That's a great idea. I will do that one here shortly in the next few days. Do a whole one on telomeres and things that you can do to try to lengthen those telomeres. So here we go. Psychological stress, whether it's chronic or whether it's a major one-time thing, it is going to cause us to age faster. You're going to see more wrinkles. Your vision, your hair is going to start falling out. You're going to go gray. A lot of things can start breaking down when you're under this psychological stress. So here's things that you can do, because it's way better to not have that stress have as big an effect, because we're all going to have it. I've got 4 boys. We've got 4 offices around the country, over 30 team members now. We're training, we're doing all kinds, and yet I've got to take the time for myself. So that involves many different things. One of them is to get outside, get out in nature. Every Friday, my goal is to get out, drop the kids off at school, and get up into the woods, get outside. Even if you're in New York City, go to one of the big parks and just be around trees, sit in the grass, walk barefoot in the grass. Things like that is very soothing for the body can calm down that chronic stress. Get outside, be in nature, relax your mind, do those things. It's very, very powerful. Breathing exercises, there's hundreds of different breathing exercises out there. Simple, simple, simple is what most people need. So 7 seconds in, 7 seconds out. And it might not be seconds, it might only be counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That may be all that you have. But what you want to do is work on slowing it down so you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in and out. There's a lot of different ones out there, but that is simple. And what basically, which breathing technique is best? It's the one that you're going to do day in and day out. Exercise is huge to burn off that stress, to burn off that psychological worries of the future, of the past, all these things. So doing consistent exercise, going for a walk is great, but exercise is going to be huge where you're actually getting that heart rate elevated. So it's not just about going for a walk. We've got to do those. Breathing awareness practice are important, absolutely. So one of the big ones that we do in office is we do what's called a brain map, and we figure out if there's a brain electrical activity component to actually what is going on with somebody's anxiety, worry, stress, any of that. And then we do what's called neurofeedback. Neurofeedback can calm the brain down, get people out of this fight or flight response. It's one of the biggest things we do. People that have autoimmune, 99% of them have a high alpha, have this worry state. It gets people out of that fight or flight. They become less reactive, more contemplative. So get a brain map done and do neurofeedback. So Stacy, shoot us a message there, and we'll let you know what's going on with the Arizona office. Absolutely. And then we've got the relaxation meditation techniques. Irene was just talking about that. Some people, they'll do yoga. They'll do the deep breathing with movement. Meditation is not a spiritual thing, it's a shut the brain down thing. So you just think about nothing at all and just focus on that breath and just quiet the brain down. There is a lot of healing that takes place when your brain is in that relaxed state and not thinking about anything. It's called the alpha wave, and it happens when you are not thinking about anything. Valerie, interested in brain mapping. Where are you located, Valerie? Let us know. And then one of the final things, it's not the last one to go to, but one of the final ones is to pray. And if you look in the Christian Bible, there are passage after passage after passage about worry not, stress not, don't have anxiety, worry for nothing, all of these different verses. And so if you have a Bible that has in the back where you can go and look at certain words, look up worry, look up anxiety, look up any of these and read verses on that. And over and over and over, that repetition is really, really important. Praying for abundance, for blessings, for that overall theme of that you are going to get through this, and that positivity is going to come to you. So I encourage you guys to jump into doing these things day in and day out. It will make a dramatic difference. Be in the present moment, because everything that you worry about in the future, everything that you worry about in the past, none of that is going to help you right here and right now. So get rid of that psychological stress. It's always going to be there, but you've got to squash it down. So, last time, sorry. Oh, good. Yes, Valerie. Yes, Cheyenne. Yeah, Valerie, I didn't recognize your name there. So, absolutely. Come on down. We can do that brain map and see where things are at. Yep, Marianne praying used to work for me, but now it works zero. So again, it's a cumulative effect. It's a lot of these different things that you need to be working on. If you need help, Marianne, give us a holler. I've got some ideas that I can give you to get back on track that way. So love having you guys on. Stay strong. Reverse your aging by dealing with the stress in your life. It's one of the biggest factors that's going to cause somebody to age faster than they want to. Make it a great day, everybody.